All right, Megovanen, everyone, and actually very quickly, hold on, I have to double check a name. Okay, yeah, his name is, or he or she, I'm pretty sure it's a he, mostly it's he, but Korteccia, also his channel name is known as Zavit74. Korteccia, thank you for, the kindly comment on my Red Sonja review. Speaking of which, I just want to show my DVD. See, this is a cool cover of my Red Sonja. I still need the Blu-ray of it. Sadly, there's no American, region free, I guess, U.S. release of Red Sonja. There's only this import. I think it's like a European import from somewhere. That one I think is region A or region free. That one I still have to get. I think it's pretty inexpensive, anywhere between like $10-15, something like that. But yeah, this is the original, 85, I think it is. Red Sonja with Arnold Schwarzenegger as Kalador. I'm a friend. I befriended your sister, remember? I'm a friend of yours too. I thank you, Kalador, but we do not need your help. I'm no mercenary. No one pays me. And if I think someone owes me something, I take it. Right? Okay, anyway, I'm sorry. Bridget Nielsen as Red Sonja, right? Sonja. I don't hate all men, Grandmaster. That would have been news to me 20 years ago. He said 20 years ago, but to be quite honest, it should be like he was really fucking old, the Grandmaster, so it should have been like 45 years ago, not 20 years ago. But I wanted to say that thanks to Korteccia with a K, he let me know about hold on, I'm very sorry. This thing keeps my glasses from falling, but it's like a rope thing. I don't know. But he let me know that I think he said it was the same writer who did The Substance, the one with Demi Moore, that one. So I have to see that film. But also the same director of Solomon Kane, which Solomon Kane and Conan, they're both by, what was his name? Howard. I forgot his first name, but something, they would tell me on the back of this one. Robert E. Howard, and Solomon Kane, the same guy that hold on, let me pause this. I have to adjust my. All right, yeah, I had to adjust this thing. It just keeps tugging on the back of my shirt. But he's the same author of those books, Solomon Kane and Conan, the Barbarian, Robert E. Howard. I looked it up one time if Solomon Kane and Conan are in the same world, but they're not. Just the same author. I'm still not too sure about Red Sonja and Conan. I don't think they are, but I know in the end of the Red Sonja remake, she mentions a warrior in Sumeria, which is what Conan is. Conan is a Sumerian. But anyways, he recommended Solomon Kane, but that is one I've seen many times already. And in fact, I own it right over here. But very quickly, too, before I even begin this, I just want to give a shout out to some of the female YouTubers from back in the day, whom I think, as far as I know, don't really make anything anymore. They just stopped or moved on, which is maybe something I'm going to have to do very, very soon. Just disappear from here for whatever reason. And I want to say that I have nothing but deep love and respect for the female YouTubers out there that really make content for the love of the craft, and they're not just exposing their bodies or over exaggerating, trying to be funny and cute or whatever to to get subscribers, but they are for real. They mean it. They make these things with their heart, and they mean it. And it's not scripted, it's not rehearsed. They just do their thing, and I feel that way in general for all YouTubers, male and female. But this one is just a tribute to those kind of females that, just you got it. Sure, you can flaunt it, but that's fine. You can dress, in your sexy outfits, but please make the content real. You want to dress how you want to dress, okay, but then I'd much prefer that, say you dress like that, but then when the content comes out, you're doing real substance stuff, like that contain real substance, like something for real, whether it's let's playing a game, talking about movies, reviews, and just do what you know, that kind of thing, I just wanted to bring that up. So I have great love and respect for that. And there seemed like there were a lot more YouTubers like that did a lot of content, male and female alike. But for the females, back in the day, I want to say at least 10, 15 years ago, we have people like Ali Walker, Robyn176. There was Miss Poppi. I forgot what the year was. It was like either 70 something or maybe even 74. Miss Poppi 74. Where last I heard she moved to Australia to be with another male Australian YouTuber, whom I forgot his name. But those are just a few examples of, some of the, old school female YouTubers from back in the day that I miss greatly. Vinylmations Revealed. I want to give a huge shout out to, Vinylmations Revealed. She is Filipino Hawaiian, I believe. And she would always show her vinyls off, and do a showcase of them. And all these ladies were very kind to me, and we are all kind to each other. I love that. And she stopped because I believe, sadly, her sister had died in I think a surfing accident or some kind of surfing thing, and then she died. And then they were kind of her channel. It was their channel, something they were both involved in, even though you only saw the one sister. So that just kind of caused her to quit. So much love to all of them. Again, Vinylmations Revealed, Miss Poppi, Robyn176, and Ali Walker. So much love to those female YouTubers from the past. Okay, so this is my review for Solomon Kane. So his name is James Purfoy. This guy right here. The latest thing I know him from, he's the villain from Mr. Monk's Last Case, that movie. It's the first Monk movie, if you know Monk, with Tony Shalhoub. But I also know James Purfoy from, he was in A Knight's Tale, starring Heath Ledger, Shannon Sossamon, right? Rufus Sewell as a prick villain in there. And James Purfoy, he was he now a prince or a king? I want to say he was a prince, that all he wanted to do was joust and be able to walk among the commoners and be treated like a regular citizen, and not always being bowed to, which is why Princess Jasmine from Aladdin, Disney's Aladdin, did what she did. She just wanted to walk among the people and get away from being, drowned by royalty and everything, and just wanted to dress up like a commoner. So that's pretty much the same thing with James Purfoy's character as a prince in A Knight's Tale. But Solomon Kane, this is very cool. I've seen this quite a few times. It kind of reminds me a bit of, there's a action RPG called Grim Dawn. Kind of reminds me of that, especially when he's dressed up with a hat. He typically has this kind of Puritan hat, and it's kind of like in Grim Dawn, is how they kind of market it with that kind of a character. Witchfire, the game Witchfire also has that look, and that's a much more newer game than Grim Dawn. But there are hints of Diablo, I guess particularly Diablo 1 sprinkled in here, because like at the end there is an end fight against this kind of giant-sized demon, which kind of reminds me of Diablo. But this one is Solomon Kane. He started off as this wicked pirate, plundering gold and what do you call that? Invading other kingdoms and stealing the riches. And in his latest excursion, when he got inside the castle, a demon was waiting for him and gave him a warning that his soul, he's damned for hell, or damned to hell, or he's damned to hell. So when he dies, which is pretty much, he wants to kill him now, the demon attacked him, Solomon Kane, and then he made his escape. So this put the fear in him. So what he did was he just lived in a monastery with a bunch of monks and changed his wicked ways and started to try to be good and basically embraced religion, whatever that was, that Christian or Catholic religion, whatever that was, and he was kicked out because he could no longer stay there. I don't know what the reason why. I think because he just they wanted him to grow, as a person, so he did that. And along the way, he befriended this family of pilgrims, which I forgot that actor who was the leader of the pilgrims. I've seen him in, he was in Clash of the Titans remake, and he might have even been in Braveheart, I think. But he befriended that family, and along the way they were attacked, and let's just say tragedy strikes, and basically it forces Solomon Kane to revert to his, I don't want to say completely wicked ways, but he has to resort to killing again, which he promised not to do. Is this all I am to you? Is this what you want from me? And then, so he had to kill the bad guys, let me say. And one of the final words from one of the characters was to save her. I'll just say the daughter was kidnapped. So he made it his mission to save the daughter in this film, and she's being whisked away to become like a slave. And then he goes through a journey. One part he even gets crucified, let's say. But this is a very, very cool film. There is guns in this, film. It's like flintlock, that type of technology, and sword fighting. This has a very cool action in here. It's not a super big budget. I'll put it still under like low mid budget. I don't know if I can't or even remember if it got a theatrical release or maybe small theatrical, but it's not, when I say low budget, not low budget like fucking Barbarian Queen or like Death Stalker or anything like that. But when I say low budget, it's middle ground, like that. So this film is very, very cool, and not a lot of people, I think, even really knew about this one or heard of it even back in the day. But do check it out, especially if you're into like Pirates of the Caribbean, Conan the Barbarian, and you're just into the works of Robert E. Howard, things like that. And of course, if you're into games like Grim Dawn, Witchfire, you're going to enjoy this one. I would give Solomon Kane, and again, a huge thank you to Korteccia, and a shout out to Korteccia. I'll put the link to your channel, even though you don't make anything. I'll still do it anyways, just in case you decide to. I'm going to give Solomon Kane, I'm going to give it an 8.75 out of 10. Okay, so very, very cool film, and I do highly recommend it.